Thank you for your patience and thank you for joining us again on A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. Our guest today was unable to make it. He had a conflict come up at the last minute, but he will join us on another day. Instead, we're going to bring you an encore presentation of our interview with Ashley Sorrell Rose with United Way of Central Oklahoma. If you've missed it, you'll enjoy this. She's very informative and a lot's going on this year. United Way is celebrating their centennial. They have been serving Oklahoma City for 100 years this year, and there's a lot going on to celebrate that. So in this interview, you'll hear all about that. And if you have seen it before, you might want to watch it again. You might have missed something. Please enjoy. Good afternoon and welcome back to A Moment of Hope with Upward Transitions. Thank you for joining us. We have a very special guest today. We have Ashley Sorrell Rose, the Chief Development Officer with United Way of Central Oklahoma. Welcome, Ashley. How are you this afternoon?
I am great. I am excited to be here. This is a very special week for us, so thank you for the opportunity to join you today.
Yes, it is. Before we get into that, I was going to have you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and what led you to United Way.
So my story started with United Way of Central Oklahoma when we were still called United Way of Metro Oklahoma City in 2002. Our CEO then, Bob Spinks, hired me to come in as an intern, and I fell in love with the place. I knew that I wanted to work at United Way someday when I graduated college, and so that's what I did. I went to college and I went and worked at a few other nonprofits along the way. And then Bob, right before he retired in 2010, brought me back on as a paid staff member. So
wow.
Thanks to Bob for getting me involved in United Way. And then I started right around the same time as Debbie Hampton, our current CEO. And I've had the great opportunity to grow and develop here. I've had many different hats. And so I have the unique perspective of several different departments in my time here, and I'm very grateful for all that opportunity.
I love how you came full circle. You started as an intern, went out major path, and then came back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's really cool. Well, this is an exciting year for United Way of Central Oklahoma. Yeah, how many years has United Way of Central Oklahoma been running?
This is our century of compassion. We are celebrating 100 years of serving Central Oklahoma, and our official birthday was July 5th, and we are making a full year of it because when you turn 100, you do it up big. So we have been celebrating since January 1, and we will celebrate until December 31st. Knowing us, we'll probably stretch it into January, just to really make it all count. But it is an honor and a privilege to be one of our oldest, longest standing nonprofits here in Central Oklahoma. And we are not taking that lightly. We are taking it very seriously, and we are proud to be one of those organizations.
As one of your partners, we are so excited about this year, about everything that's going on and everything you do for Oklahoma City and everything you do for us. Let's get into that. For people who don't know, what does United Way do?
You know, in a nutshell, we are in the business of connecting people and resources to improve our community. And that is the short and sweet of it. Obviously, a lot more goes into that. So a lot of people associate us with our workplace campaigns. That is the bread and butter of what we do. We go into companies and we work with donors across workplaces and solicit funds to provide funding to our partner agencies. But we do so much more than that. And that's why I love opportunities like today, because I can tell people what really makes us unique. And so for me, the value add of United Way, and specifically our United Way, is that we are the organization that people call when they don't know where else to turn. So we are the organization when there is a need in the community, perhaps an unmet need or an escalating need, or in times of disasters, and they need somebody to convene and collaborate organizations together, and we get those phone calls. And it's something that we are very proud of. We like to be that organization. We take it very seriously. And that convening and collaborating isn't just limited to our partner agencies. We like to bring in community organizations, federal organizations, government organizations, faith-based organizations, anybody that we think can have a part in creating solutions to our community's issues and challenges. We want to bring them to the table to be part of that conversation. And the other piece of that we felt like we had to have to really guide those conversations and make data-driven decisions is we have a research department. We are one of the only United Ways across the country that has a team dedicated to research. And when we merged with the Community Council it's been about 20 years now, that was something that they provided for the community at the time. And we felt very strongly about keeping that part of our role and our mission. And so we brought their research under our wing, and we have continued to do that. So we produce vital signs, a publication on data, but it's not just data. It's really more qualitative. There's a lot of discussion behind it, and our research and our data has led to conversations that have fostered the creation of programs and other agencies across Oklahoma City. Remerge is a great example, if you're familiar with Remerge.
Yes.
When I very first started at United Way in 2010, that was one of the conversations we were having. Is we knew the statistic that Oklahoma incarcerated more nonviolent female offenders than anywhere else in the world. And what can we do with that? How do we start addressing that? And out of that discussion led to the creation of Remerge. And we are very proud that not only did it get created, but they're one of our partner agencies today. And that's just one example. There are so many others, but all of that started with data and discussion and bringing the right collaborators to the table to have a conversation. And we are proud to do that in our everyday role here.
As someone who really relies on data and research and number-driven, I don't want to say backups for my arguments, but when I go to our CEO or a board and have an idea of ways that we can promote ourselves, I like to have good data, and I really have started relying on vital signs for that. So I really appreciate that research that you guys do.
I'm thrilled to hear that it's being used. That's what we intend. We don't want to limit it to just our partner agencies. That's why we have a data center on our website. We want anybody and everybody who can use it to go there and seek it out and to read our publications. We want them to be used by stakeholders across the community. So I'm glad you shared that. Thank you.
Well, does United Way have a mission statement?
It's what I shared with you earlier. It's the connecting people and resources to improve our community.
That's the verbatim.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. You tell me a little about the history of United Way of Central Oklahoma specifically.
So our history started in 1923. At that time, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our friends at the Chamber, but there was a collaborative effort where they wanted to have, if you're familiar with with community chests and the United Funds, that's how we all started. So all United Ways started out as community chests. And it was a unified approach to fundraising to address a variety of community needs. And our story, our chest, started with a conversation with the Chamber. So at the time, some community leaders came together and they said, there's got to be a better way of addressing the needs in our community. And out of that, the Community Chest was born. We've had a lot of names over our 100 years, but from Community Chest, we became United Appeal, and then United Way of Central Oklahoma, United Way of Metro Oklahoma City, back to United Way of Central Oklahoma. But the mission and the point of what we do has never changed. And it has been to be that unified source to address a lot of needs. And that's probably the question I get the most from people is why United Way? And I think this year it's so relevant to talk even more so about that because it is our 100th anniversary. We need an opportunity for people to donate and to support something that addresses a variety of needs, because we know that when somebody goes to an agency like Upward Transitions, you all are going to take care of everything you can within your mission because you're the experts at what you do. But you also know that once you provide an ID to somebody, they might need housing assistance, or they might need a place for their child to go to school, or they might need food assistance. And so you all are part of a network where you can pick up the phone and call any of our other partner agencies and make that connection, and it's seamless. And our agencies work so well together. I've always told people that you all play so well in the sandbox together because you understand that maybe this week you're able to reach out and help, but then there might be other weeks in the year where you're going to call on an agency and ask for their assistance. And that has been something that our organization and our agencies have done so well over the last 100 years. And just to the nature of our community and some of the things that we have experienced in the last 100 years has really also set our United Way apart from others, because we do have more of a disaster response piece to what we do than many others do. And again, it's because we've gotten those calls over the years. And so we have stepped up with our partner agencies to provide that support and be that backbone of what can we do to help navigate this. We see one agency is getting a lot of calls for case management. Well, we have some other agencies who do similar work, so we can bring in case managers to help with that. In 2013, our service area was significantly impacted by 3 different tornadoes, and we were at the center of it. And so we were able to work with a variety of agencies across central Oklahoma to set up multi-agency resource centers and to be able to take calls and help facilitate volunteers and be that collaborator and convener for the community. So I would say for me, the value add is not that we fund these amazing agencies, which we do. That is integral to what we do. It's never going to change. But for me, it's that additional, we foster that network. We are there to connect people and resources. It's our mission. And we are there to make sure that our agencies have that support and that we're there not just in terms of fundraising, but to be the person on the other end of the phone when they need additional support and to help bring people together to take care of things.
I just have to say, I've said it multiple times, and our other partner agencies say it too. We found out we are not just biased. Oklahoma City is unique in our United Way and in the way we all work together. It's a very well-oiled machine. And we found out other cities like Chicago and Detroit and even Los Angeles don't work together the way all of us work together here. And they don't have those connections where we're daily calling other United Way partners for our clients and daily getting calls from them for their clients. And it's amazing how we work together. I think more cities should use us as a model, use United Way of Central Oklahoma as a model. And I know they won't have the character, they won't have the disasters behind them and the community, but some of it I think is just how people are here and the hard work you guys have done over the years, bringing us all together. It's really impressive, really unique. And I personally am really proud to be part of it.
Well, thank you. And, I would be remiss if I didn't say too, Kana, for us, it's our volunteer leadership. It is very intentional from our board and the other volunteers who choose every day to be a part of what we do. They choose us. They choose to support our campaign. They choose to support our strategic growth. They choose to support the structure of our organization and our development as a whole. And if we didn't have that buy-in from our volunteer leadership, then we wouldn't be able to provide the support that we can do for our agencies. And we wouldn't be able to do it without you all. I think what makes us so special, what I know makes us so special, is agencies like you all. I know because I work with other peers across the nation and other United Ways, our agencies are something special. And everybody will say that, but we really do have special agencies. And it meant a lot to me. If you've not had a chance to watch our 100th anniversary video this year, our friends at Ackerman McQueen generously donated that to our campaign, as they do every year. This year it's extra special, and viewers can go watch it at our website, unitedwayokc.org. It's on our homepage. And at the very end of the video, Major Powell, who was our previous major at the Salvation Army here locally, he said that in his career, he's had the opportunity to work with multiple United Ways across the country. And ours is truly the most special that he's ever worked with. And he says it's because of that network and that connectivity that just doesn't exist in other communities. And so I think a lot goes into that. It's the volunteer support, it's our agencies and the incredible people who work for our agencies, and the good fortune of having tens of thousands of donors who buy into our mission every year and support us. And I will say too, because we've talked a lot about it this year for our 100th anniversary, we are unique in that we have thousands of donors who have given to our organization for 20 years or more. We call them platinum donors. So many nonprofits have people who give for a few years here and there, but we have people who have given to us since the 1950s on a regular basis.
Wow.
And we feature one every year in our leadership registry. And I love their stories and how they start and how they have been intentional about nurturing that to their families and their loved ones and their workplaces. And it shows. And again, we are so fortunate, one, to have records to show that, but two, to have people who every year choose to support our mission, our work, and our partner agencies with their gifts.
That is mind-blowing. Oklahoma City is wonderful.
It's so cool.
The best donors of people here. Well, how about we talk about the upcoming events to celebrate the centennial?
Let's do that, please. So we will kick everything off tomorrow afternoon at a reception. But the real fun that I want to invite anybody to come to is Thursday afternoon. We are having our third annual, it's called the Whole Shebang, and it's our cornhole tournament. And it's out at Scissortail. Loves has generously donated the use of the Love stage and great lawn there for the event. And Forbes is our presenting sponsor for the entire event for our 2-day Centennial Kickoff. I will tell you, this year we asked our emerging leaders to take a big part in leading this event for us. Emerging leaders, for those of you who don't know, is our young professionals affinity group. So not only are these young people who donate $500 or more a year to United Way, but they are also young professionals that are seeking out leadership opportunities and ways to become involved in the community. And so they are a busy bunch. They meet about every 2 months for some activity to learn more about United Way and our agencies. And this year we said, you know what, you are the future of our organization. And so we want you to have a big part in our Centennial Kickoff. And we want you to lead our cornhole tournament. And they ran with it. And so this year we have more than doubled what we were raising with it. We have more than doubled the number of teams that are signed up for it. And it is going to be a lot of fun. So they will be there. We will be there. I think there's about 81 teams participating Thursday afternoon. It starts at 4 o'clock and will end by hopefully about 8 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening. And as I said, it's at Scissortail. Our friends at Spark are donating 10% of their proceeds that evening to support this effort. So if you go down, please go check them out and have some dinner. We also have several other food trucks that will be on site to provide food. We'll have snow cones, some American food. I think it's Cool Cups is the snow cone of all kind. It's an American food truck. The Hangry Donut will be there. And Worth the Wait, which is barbecue, they will all be on site, and they are all donating a portion of proceeds back to us as well. So we will have food. We will have a lot of fun. We will have a live band there providing music. So if you don't have plans Thursday night, consider these your plans now and come out and help us celebrate our 100th anniversary with this cornhole tournament and support our emerging leaders who have put so much work into doing this event. And we'll have other events throughout the year, throughout the remainder of the campaign season. But that's the big one. That's this week that we're all very excited about.
This one sounds like a really good one for the whole family, too.
Yes.
It's
yes, absolutely.
Nice.
Yes.
Let's see, the whole shebang. Now I know that this is a ways off, but there's going to be gala at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in January. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we have a huge wrap-up gala every year that we invite our donors to attend. And we typically have around 700 or so people who come out to help us celebrate the campaign that's just recently ended. It's where we announce the grand total amount raised, and have a great evening. And this year will be extra special because it'll be the ending of our 100th anniversary. And so we'll be doing that to honor all the work and all the generosity that came from our donors and our volunteers throughout the year.
How much of a donation does one need to give you to be able to be invited to the gala?
So all donors are invited, and then we have ticket prices to attend the actual event. And more information will be posted about that as we get a little bit closer to January on our website.
So that's a good incentive to donate.
Yeah,
get to come to the gala.
Yes. And Connie, if I can, I want to talk a little bit too about our Day of Caring. So again, this year we're not doing anything, small. We are doing everything big. And on July 5th, which was our actual birthday, our 100th birthday, we kicked off our 100 Days of Caring. And so over the last few weeks, we have asked individuals to get their companies to sign up to do volunteer projects across the community. And our hope is that we would have 100 days of volunteer projects leading up to October 13th. Which is the culmination of our 100 Days of Caring. And that will be our large community-wide Day of Caring event. And so we will have companies, volunteer teams from companies all across Central Oklahoma volunteering their time to go out to our partner agencies and do projects. And if you are a partner agency and you're hearing this and you haven't submitted a project, please do. These companies wait all year long to do these projects. And this year especially, we want them out. We want them wearing our Day of Caring t-shirts, which were donated by our friends at OG&E. And we want them to be out there representing our organization and doing these projects for you all. It's a lot of fun. Our staff will be out taking pictures and thanking these volunteers for what they do. And if you can't squeeze in a volunteer project between now and October 13th, you could go to our Volunteer Center website, which is volunteercentraloklahoma.org. And it is an opportunity to get connected with volunteer opportunities, not just at our partner agencies, but many other nonprofits here in Central Oklahoma to do projects either as an individual or with family or with colleagues from your workplace. And those are posted year round, and we always have needs available for folks.
That's great. Can you give me that website one more time?
Sure can. volunteercentraloklahoma.org. All one word.
So apart from us, one thing I have to get in there, I know you guys have partner agencies that have been with you from the very beginning. And it's a little soreness for us because we missed it by 2 years.
I know, Perry Ann told me. You all are very special to us.
We consider ourselves original partners.
I do too.
Years late. But I wanted to ask, how many partner agencies does United Way of Central Oklahoma have right now?
So we have 70, and that includes our friends in Logan and Canadian counties as well. So not only do we run a campaign within Central Oklahoma, but our staff also provides support and runs campaigns in specifically Canadian and Logan County for those communities, and we provide support for their partner agencies. So all told, we work with 70 agencies, and we fund 141 programs at those 70 agencies through our efforts with our allocations process every year, and through our Embrace OKC initiative and our directed donations program. So we are working with 70 amazing agencies through all of those efforts.
And that ties all of us together to help our clients even more.
That's great.
Which is wonderful. How does United Way, for people who don't know, how does United Way partner with its agencies? How do we work together?
So probably the first piece that people are going to think of is that funding relationship. So once an agency applies to be a partner of ours and they're accepted through our volunteer process, and I would say that process is special. It's called community investment. It happens every year, January to May. We recruit about 200 volunteers every year. They're donor volunteers, so they have a vested interest in the work that we're doing. And we recruit 200 people to lead that process. Our staff is just along for the ride to take notes, and they're the ones asking those tough questions that you and I as donors want to know about how our dollars are being spent. And then they go out and do site visits and see our agencies firsthand and make recommendations on how those dollars are invested in the community. And that's the first piece. But I think everything else that we've talked about today is that value add. So once you're a partner agency, you're a partner agency. Even if there are, I'm not going to say challenges, opportunities that our volunteers identify, maybe they have a concern or maybe there's been a leadership change or something's happening at the organization, all that does is cue our volunteers into, hey, United Way, you need to provide some additional support to this organization. And they help us create a plan for how we better support you all. What do we need to do in terms of training or check-ins or recruitment, volunteers, you name it, what can we do to support you all? And so that's the other tier to that. We've already talked about our research piece that's available. We work with agencies to make sure that you're able to deliver on outcomes measurements and that you feel comfortable and that you're measuring the things that you should be measuring, and also look at opportunities for things that maybe you've not considered but would really help you expand maybe your other funding. I love to meet with agencies and pitch their ideas of ways they can stretch their fundraising. And have you ever thought of this? It never fails. We'll be at a rally or we'll be answering those questions during community investment that our staff gets to help provide some additional tips for those efforts. The other piece to it is that volunteer support. So we have volunteers who start community investment with us. They fall in love with an agency and then they want to jump on board and support them as a volunteer as well. A program that we started, I want to say 10 years ago or so, is our board serve program. And that's where every year, and now it's every 2 years. So every other year we have an application process from individuals who want to go through our board serve program. And in a nutshell, that program is an opportunity for individuals to meet monthly, and each month has a different focus, but essentially they're learning how to be the best board member they can be, best board member, best volunteer they can be for a nonprofit. And then at the end, once they complete the program and they graduate, we assign them to be a board member with a partner agency. And there have been so many people who have done the program that do their 1 year of board service with that agency and then beg the agency to let them stay on because they have such a great time doing it and they make those connections. And then once they're involved with the organization, they're in it to win it and they love it. And so board serve is another opportunity. And then another really new opportunity for us that we're very proud of, we've talked a lot about that community investment, and I've said that that's not going to change. We're going to continue to do that. But we also recognized an opportunity that we were missing to fund new and innovative programs, either for our existing partner agencies or any nonprofit. And out of that came Wayfinder. So our Wayfinder grant program is another support we provide for our organizations, our partner agencies. And it's an opportunity for them to receive essentially startup funding for a new program. And so we have been doing this program since 2019. And we have funded several really cool, really innovative programs that didn't previously exist here, but it was their solution to a need in the community that nobody else was doing. And so we provide that first year funding, that startup funding, but it's through a panel of other community funders. And so the thought process there is that once our initial year of funding is gone, those other community funders that heard that initial pitch and bought into it would be there to entertain additional funding and be able to provide that support and see it go through. So curbside apparel is one example that I'm sure people have heard of. Catalyst Cookies is another one. Pivot Preserves. That one is delicious and everybody's talking about it these days. And For some reason, I've listed the ones that have food involved, but there's lots of other programs that we have been involved with and help support through our Wayfinder program. And those are all, you can read more about that program on our website as well. And we will be announcing those winners for this year's process tomorrow afternoon. So stay tuned on that one. It'll be very exciting. So
Yeah,
I would say whatever our agencies need, they know to call us. They'll call our CEO, Debbie Hampton. They'll call a member of our team and say, hey, this is going on. Do you have any thoughts on how I can handle it? And if we don't know, we find somebody who can. How about that?
I like that. And that is true from what everyone says. Oh, yeah. One thing that I think is important to stress today is all of the things we're talking about and all of the things that you are saying are meant. They're sincere. United Way means it. This is not just a message. This isn't just a marketing thing. This is genuine, sincere, a passion and a desire to help the community, to help people in need, and to improve Oklahoma City as a whole and central Oklahoma as a whole. And I think our United Way is so unique and so special, but I know that this is a sincere message here that's coming across, and I really want to stress that to people. I know we've touched on it a little bit already, but I want to go back, if we can, and just let people know overall how they can volunteer for United Way, how they can get involved, and how they can donate.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, that volunteer, I would love for any of our donors to be community investment volunteers, and that is a need that we have every year. We always need at least 200 people to pull that process off. I promise you'll do it once and you'll fall in love and you'll be a volunteer for life. That's the initial one. If you are interested in just volunteer opportunities in general, whether it be with us or any of our partner agencies, you can go to volunteercentraloklahoma.org to check out volunteer opportunities that exist and to learn more about how you can get involved with our Day of Caring coming up in October. And then the donor piece, if you are part of a workplace and you want the opportunity to give via payroll or obviously the standard ways, check, cash, credit card, and your organization is not already doing a workplace campaign, I want you to call me so that we can set that up with your company. We would love that opportunity. We are very proud to facilitate about 600 workplace campaigns every year just through Central Oklahoma, and that doesn't include our work with the state or the city campaigns or our counties. So the more the merrier. We want to help facilitate that. If you are an individual and you're not part of a workplace campaign and you also want to give, I want you to give. I want you to go to our website, unitedwayokc.org, and there is a Donate Now button on our website that you can click and make an individual gift to support our campaign. And I would ask everybody this year to consider giving a little bit more than you might typically give in celebration of our 100th anniversary. We are asking all of our donors to consider an increase this year in celebration of the 100th year, and to help us set a really great pace for our 101st year next year. And then the other piece of it that I would encourage people to also start considering, because you can do this anytime, is think about your legacy. And if you want to make a gift through a bequest to our endowment, in addition to what you would give, say, through an annual campaign, we do have a planned giving program here. And I would love to talk to anybody who's interested in having a conversation about the legacy they want to leave. And what better year to do that than this year in honor of our 100th anniversary. So those are just a few of the ways that you can support our organization as a volunteer, as a donor. Come out to our events and help cheer us on. And please support our agencies. Be volunteers for our agencies. Reach out to them, find out ways you can be involved with them as well, because we want you. I want you to be a member of our affinity groups. I want you to be an emerging leader. I want you to be our Women's Leadership Society members. I want you to be the next 100 years of our organization, however that looks like for you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, Ashley. This has just been wonderful. And again, on behalf of myself and everyone at Upward Transitions, we are so proud to be part of United Way and one of your partners, and so looking forward to the celebrations that are coming up. So I know I will see you soon.
Yes. Thank you. We appreciate you all. This was a fabulous opportunity, and I'm so thankful for it. And thank you for letting us do it this week, especially. But to your team at Upward Transitions and to all of our partner agencies, on behalf of our team, thank you. We cannot do this and don't want to do this without you all. And so thank you for the impact that you make every single day. And if you'll give me any opportunity, I will share your stories and champion you all every chance I get. So thank you all so much.
And thank you all for tuning in again. And we will see you again next week. Have a great week.